right, what is up, YouTube? I'm about to go live on Facebook as well. Right, welcome to episode 3 of Positive Vibes Only podcast. Doing a little sound check right now to make sure that the sound is good. If the sound is good and you're on my YouTube, throw a comment down there to let me know the sound's good. And if the sound is not so good, obviously you can let me know that too. I'll put that there. And I'm live on Facebook too. Live on Instagram, not Instagram, live on YouTube, live on Facebook. Right, so I'm doing this. All right. That way I can make sure I'm talking to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. I figured it out. So I'm going to give it like a couple of minutes to let some people hop onto the live because we are going to be talking about some nutrition today. Right. And let me make sure I put these in. So we're going to be talking about what's up, Grace. We're going to be talking about some nutrition today. Make sure. Right, the sound quality is a little bit better on these for the Facebook Live feed. Cool. So we're going to be talking about some nutrition today. We're going to be talking about not only nutrition to do things like the obvious, lose weight and whatnot. We're going to be talking about nutrition to keep a healthy body and a healthy mind. A lot of people are struggling mentally and emotionally through this time, and nutrition does play a big part in it, especially if you have stuff like depression, anxiety, and such, and things like that, which I do. However, it's going to be going into things like that, which I really want to touch on because not enough people talk about nutrition as a way to help improve things like emotional and psychological disorders. So after a couple of minutes, I'm going to give it a shot and start it up. So if you have time to jump on the live, I would suggest it. Like I said, we're going to be talking about nutrition. I'm going to be talking about how nutrition helps the body, how you can lose weight, how you can improve your mindset, how you can improve your psychological well-being, your emotional well-being, your mental state, mindset, and body, right? Because most people don't talk about how nutrition keeps a healthy mind. And most people don't talk about how a healthy mind is just as important as a healthy body. So we're going to be talking about that. Full disclosure, I'm not going to be talking about, specific types of nutrition. I'm going to be talking about specific types of nutrition, but I don't push one thing, right? Everyone's like, oh, this is the best. No, this is the best. No, this is the best. There is no such thing as the best nutrition. Everyone has something different. The best nutrition for me is not the best nutrition for you, vice versa. So I'm going to be playing around and talking about a couple different types of nutrition and how they help not only how you look, but how you feel and keeping a healthy mindset. Because you can't really have that healthy of a mindset when you're eating like shit. And anyone who tries to preach healthy mindset, healthy mindset, positive mindset, go get, those people like the motivational speakers, you have to look at some of them. I'm not trying to bash anybody because some of these motivational speakers are successful and I love what they do and their heart's in the right place. But you have to think too, are they healthy? You look at a fat motivational speaker, what are you trying to motivate? You can't possibly have the healthiest, best mindset if you're not taking care of your body, right? If your mindset is, I'm going to eat whatever the hell I want and I don't care that I'm overweight, your mindset is not really that great. And it's not really going to be, positive to help everybody else, right? So you have to look at stuff like that when you're looking at people like positive mindsets and they're preaching positivity. You got to look at them. Are they positive? If you're eating like shit and you're not healthy and you're overweight and all this stuff, you're not that positive mentally. All right. So things to think about. And I'm also going to do some Q&A as well. So I'm going to get it started. It's a few minutes, but we're also going to go, we're going to dive into one of my favorite quotes of all time. We're going to kind of pick it apart and see what it really means and how you can implement it in your everyday life. So people on YouTube and people on Facebook, if the sound is okay, please let me know. If the sound is not okay, please let me know so I can fix it before I dive in. So if you're on there, just let me know. Give me a little comment. Say, hey, Mike, the sound is fine. Or, hey, Mike, the sound sucks. Fix it. Either way. All right. So, okay, nutrition, right? Nutrition is one of those words that has a very large stigma around it because everyone, how do I say it? Hi, Janice. Sounds good. Perfect. Thank you. All right. So, nutrition is a stigma around it because a lot of people think of it as I can't eat what I like to eat, or they're afraid of nutrition because they think it's super difficult and, not sustainable. Some diets, I don't even like that word, but some diets, they're not sustainable. They're really not. That's why they're diets. Diets are short term. Diets have a start and a finish, right? So if I'm doing a diet to lose weight, okay, but keep in mind that is going to come to an end. A diet is not a sustainable thing. There are a million diets out there. They really are. And it's most of them are nonsense. I'll be honest with you. And, I don't consider myself an expert. I've been educating myself since 2010 on nutrition. And I've been able to, over the 10 years, weed out the nonsense, the BS, compared to the good stuff. Good stuff meaning not stuff that I promote, because I don't promote any different type of nutrition. I just think that each person has their own nutrition, right? You know what healthy is for the most part. You know what not healthy is for the most part. Where it gets a little tricky and where you would need someone's help that's been studying this stuff for 10 years, like myself, is a lot of people, they eat healthy, but they think they're eating healthy. Let's give some examples. Let's say like whole wheat bread, whole wheat pasta, brown rice. Everyone thinks those are healthier. They're not. Bread is bread, pasta is pasta, rice is rice. Okay. There's good stuff like that though. Like say rice, right? Rice is okay. Just get organic and get basmati or jasmine rice. Bang, there you go. Right. So, and that brings us to the point of like carbohydrates. Everyone's afraid of carbohydrates, right? That's not something to be afraid of. There are good carbohydrates. There are bad carbohydrates. There's good protein. There's bad protein. There's good fat. There's bad fat. Like they're not all created equal, right? There's a lot of moving parts to the complexity of nutrition. It's not one flat, this is the right way to eat. This is the wrong way to eat. Right. That's why things like the food pyramid and all that stuff, the My Plate, whatever the hell they're calling it now, they're telling you what to eat. First of all, if you look at the people in the government, as far as the FDA, the American Heart Association, the USDA, those people who are on the boards of these government organizations, and they're making up how to eat and telling the American people how to eat. If you look at who's really on those boards, they're not very healthy, and they're not educated on this stuff, right? They learned the wrong way, and it's not their fault, right? There are some conspiracies about it. I'm not going to dive into it because that's opinionated, but at the end of the day, how are you going to take advice from someone who doesn't practice what they preach? If I'm telling you, here's how I think you should be eating, and I don't look the part, or forget looking the part, and I don't eat the right way, I don't eat the way I'm supposed to, the part, how are you going to take advice from me? These people on these, the FDA, the USDA, the American Heart Association, they're telling you how to eat, but they don't eat like that. So how are they going to tell you? You know what I'm saying? It's also like, if I need a financial advisor and I'm trusting this person with my money, and they're in debt and they don't spend money correctly, it's the same thing, really. How am I going to take financial advice from someone who can't even help themselves with financial advice? So they have really no business telling me how to spend my money if they don't know how to do the same for themselves. And that's where I get a little bit frustrated because, people are trying to do the right thing and eat healthy, and they're being told the wrong things, which is unfortunate. But at the same time, if you don't study this stuff intensively like I do, how are you supposed to know what's right and wrong? You just follow what you've been told. The way I put it is, the way I teach everyone specific ways on how to eat properly for what their goal is, it's usually pretty opposite of what we've been taught growing up. And every time someone says, well, isn't that's completely opposite of what we were taught growing up? My answer is, well, if what we were taught growing up was the right way to eat, why does America have so many cases of diabetes and heart disease and obesity? Right? It's pretty simple. I'm a very factual, logical person, right? And that's what it is. If we were taught the right way to eat growing up, everyone would be looking great. Everyone would be happy. Everyone would have less diseases, right? Even the genetic diseases. If you eat properly, you can get away with not getting them, right? To an extent. I'm not an expert on diseases. I study them, but I'm not, by no means am I an expert on them to talk about them, right? So that brings me to my next point, which is eating properly to keep a healthy mindset. Right. So I'm not going to dive too much on how you look. If you have questions, that's why I go live. You're more than welcome to ask questions. Mike, how do I lose weight? Mike, how do I get stronger? Mike, how do I get toned? Mike, whatever. So what I'm really going to focus on today is how to eat properly for a healthy mindset, a positive mindset. And most people don't talk about this. But as far as something like anxiety and depression, you can control that. I don't want to say cure it. You can manage it and control it through nutrition and supplements. You don't need medication. If you're on medication and it works for you, great. But you don't need it, right? There are certain cases where medication is necessary. I'm not going to deny that. However, I have pretty severe anxiety and depression, and I've tried medication, made it worse, significantly worse, which is not good. And then I've used nutrition and supplementation, and guess what? It got better. Right? That's not a miracle. That's not, that's science. Okay. That's not a coincidence. That's facts. That's science. That's logic. All right. And one of the biggest things that, again, it has a stigma around it and nobody wants to hear it, but sugar. Okay. Sugar. I'm not going to sit here and tell you sugar is the devil. Sugar will kill you. But do your research, right? Even if you don't trust me, do your research and find credible sources. You're going to see a bunch of different articles. You're going to see a bunch of videos where misinformed people who are uneducated are saying, no, there's nothing wrong with sugar. You're good. Don't worry about it. Sugar is public enemy number one in the United States, right? Probably other countries too. I haven't done the research in other countries because I don't live in other countries. I've done research in a couple other countries, and sugar is not quite as bad, right? I've been to other countries as well. I've been to different countries in Europe. They don't do the whole sugar thing, right? If they do, it's in very, very small moderations. So America, okay? Sugar is public enemy number one in America, and it's what everybody should be keeping an eye on. I'm not going to sit here and tell you to cut sugar out of your diet completely because, first of all, it's unnecessary. Second of all, it's close to impossible. Right? There's sugar in a bunch of different things that you don't even know there's sugar in. So you have to be careful, and sugar is the one thing. Okay, sugar feeds anxiety and depression. Sugar feeds things like autism, dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, right? There are vast, huge medical studies on this. This is not my opinion. This is science, okay? Sugar feeds these diseases, okay? And cancer, okay? Cancer. Guess what cancer cells feed off of? Guess what they fuels them? Sugar. Glucose feeds cancer cells. There are many, many studies medically done by professionals in the industry. They take a cancer patient, they strip sugar out of their diet, and guess what happens? They get better, right? I don't know, it's not to say that that's cured, but they get better without medicine, without chemotherapy, without all this stuff. But nobody wants to do it. Nobody likes to listen to it. That's facts. Guys, look it up. Sugar feeds cancer cells. If you take their food source, their fuel source away from them, they get weaker and die. If something comes down and takes our food and fuel away from us, guess what? We're going to get weaker and die eventually. Okay. So that's really what it comes down to. And again, that's not, you could sit here and argue with whoever you want all day long. Those are the facts. You really can't argue with the hardcore facts of science that works, right? You can argue with science, but the stuff that works, right? So, and that's, again, it's, wouldn't you rather switch up your diet and cut some sugar out and limit your sugar and feel better? Right? I've had clients that I've coached on nutrition, and I left all their diet the same. I said, eat the way you do, cut sugar out for 2 weeks. Come back, let me know how you feel. If you don't feel any different and you didn't lose any weight and your energy didn't go up and you didn't feel good, your skin got better, if nothing happened, go back to eating sugar. I'll sit here and tell you that I was wrong, and I'll do my research again. I've done that to probably more people than I can count. Not a single person came back after 2 weeks and told me they feel the same and went back to eating sugar. They came back and they were like, holy shit, after just 2 weeks, I dropped X amount of pounds. I feel amazing. My energy is huge. I sleep better. Why have I not done this before? Why did I wait this long? Right? Not one person came back and told me that I was wrong and didn't work. And I'm happy to admit when I'm wrong. That's the whole part of science. You admit when you're wrong, you scrap your research that was wrong, and you start from scratch, right? So, keeping a healthy mindset and a positive mindset really, really, really needs to be done through nutrition. Nutrition is a very, very powerful thing. A lot of people think nutrition is just, I want abs, I want to lose weight. Yes, that's nutrition. However, nutrition goes much deeper than that. And you need to realize that. The sooner you realize that and come to terms and accept it, the better off you'll be. I managed my severe anxiety and depression with nutrition. I look the way I do from nutrition. My mind is sharp from nutrition. All this stuff stems from what you're eating, right? Everything stems from what you're putting in your mouth and what you're not. Diseases, okay? The cloudiness of the mind. You want to get a sharper mind. You want to do better at work. You want to do better at this X, Y, and Z. It comes down to what you're eating. Right. And one of the best documentaries I think I have probably ever seen in my life is called Fat, a Documentary. That's the title of it. It's called Fat, a Documentary. And I recently watched it on, I think it was Amazon. And they go into, first of all, it's got very, very credible people, professionals talking about it. And they do studies. Again, this is not their opinion. This is hard fact. Actual evidence. Little boy he was born healthy. After about a year, he started having seizures. I believe it was upwards of 15 to 20 a day. So the doctors, and again, he's about my age now. So this was a couple of decades ago. So at the time, the research wasn't quite there. So the doctors pretty much told him we can give him medicine. They tried medicine. They tried a whole bunch of different medicines. Nothing worked. We can have surgeries. He had brain surgeries. Nothing worked. So this family, you could imagine what they've gone through. So one day, the father, the father goes into the library in the hospital, the medical library, and he picks up a book just by chance on early childhood epilepsy. Okay, so he picks it up, and one of the first pages goes through the ketogenic diet. And again, this is one of those diets that nobody understands properly. Even the people that do it and have success with it, they really don't understand it the way it should be done. Some people do. Some people do. Most don't. Right? I've been coaching people on nutrition for quite some time, and I've been coaching people on keto for quite some time. And a lot of people misunderstand it. So what did the dad do? The dad said, you know what, doc? Thanks anyway. I'm going to pull him off, taper him off the meds. No more cutting his brain open. We'll be okay. Let's try it. So he puts his son on a ketogenic diet. After 2 days, not 2 weeks, not 2 months, not 2 years, 2 days, his seizures stopped. He went from having 15 to 20 seizures a day to none in 2 days after getting put on this specific nutrition plan. I'm going to take a second and let you think about that. Let that sink in for a minute. Okay, yeah, and that's true. That's a true story. And the guy is now a preschool teacher or a kindergarten teacher or something like that, and he's completely healthy, he still does the ketogenic diet, and he hasn't had a seizure since. Okay, so that's just something that you can think about, and I would highly recommend watching that documentary, to be honest, because that documentary was amazing. What's up, Bobby? That documentary was amazing. I would highly recommend watching it because that was an amazing story. And, the guy is healthy now. He's good to go. So, and that was through nutrition. That was when medicine failed, surgery failed, nutrition was the savior. The kid probably wouldn't have made it past another couple of years. And if he did, he would have had severe brain damage. So, just by chance of his father going through a book in the medical library and opening up by coincidence, he happened to say, you know what, let's try it. You want to know why? Because he was open-minded, right? Not only was he open-minded, he was out of options. So, that's the type of thing where that's what I mean when I say nutrition is more powerful than you think it is. It's not just how you look. It cured this man's seizures. This little boy who was having seizures every day cured him after 2 days. That's not a coincidence, right? So, things like that. And again, like I said in the beginning of the podcast, if we're doing, if people are live right now, I was talking about a lot of motivational speakers. You have to look at how they live. If they're motivated, I don't care how much money they have. I don't care how big their mansions are. I don't care how many people they speak to at seminars. That's great, and I respect it, right? However, you have to look at how they live. What's their lifestyle like, right? If they're giving you relationship advice, look at their track record. Have they been divorced a couple times? Why are they giving you relationship advice? Are they fat and out of shape and overweight? Why are they giving you tips on how to live a healthier life? Okay, healthier life stems from what you're eating. You cannot live a healthier, happier life if you're eating like shit. And some people will argue with me saying, "Oh, it's just food; it has nothing to do with this and that." That's fine. You can think that, but the reality of it is that's not true, right? And take it from me because I used to eat terribly. I'm talking fast food for all 3 meals of my day, soda in between, beer, alcohol, cigarettes, you name it, right? And I was miserable. My depression and anxiety were out of control, and I was just not a happy person. Doesn't matter how I looked. Doesn't matter. I was not a happy person. I could not have a positive mindset if I was treating my body like that. I can't speak to you about having a positive mindset and keeping positive and, having all this motivation if I don't live that lifestyle. I don't just live this way on camera for you during my podcasts and workouts and nutrition course videos. I live this way no matter who's looking, whether the camera's on me or not. And that's just, it's the facts, man. It really is. And you got to really think of it like that because it's powerful. Nutrition's powerful. Nutrition can make your life amazing. And, it can also ruin your life. And most Americans let nutrition ruin their life, and it lets and people let nutrition run their life too, right? You can eat healthy without really having to try that hard. It's really not as difficult as everyone thinks it is. A lot of people don't even try because they're just like, it's too difficult. I can't do it. You get the Italian people, I don't want to give up my bread and pasta. I don't want to give up my beer. I can't give up bread and pasta. I can't do that. No. I mean, listen, it's 2020, right? There are alternatives that taste just the same. I'm going to post something later today about pasta. That's what I'm having for dinner, but it's not pasta. Now you got to look at the ingredients. The pasta I'm going to have has 5 ingredients in it. It's gluten-free and grain-free. Figure that one out, right? It's made with almond flour, tapioca starch, sea salt, okay? And it tastes even better than regular pasta. And that's coming from people, people that I've given it to and had them try it, and they're hardcore Sunday dinner Italian pasta. And they even were like, wow, this is amazing. Why have I not been eating this the whole time? And you don't feel like shit after it either. So, that's just one of many examples of an alternative. So you can still eat the stuff you want. I'm a big believer in you can eat healthy while enjoying what you eat. You guys know me by now. I'm a foodie. I cook. I've been cooking. I taught myself how to cook since I was 14 years old. I was going to go to culinary school. I love cooking. I'm a foodie. I'm not going to eat it if it doesn't taste good. I need to eat what I think tastes good. I want to enjoy my food. But at the same time, I need to be healthy. And there's no reason you can't have both. Back in the day, maybe a decade or two ago, it was either you eat healthy or you enjoy what you eat because the healthy stuff tasted like cardboard. Do your research. Get up with the times. It's 2020. It's not like that anymore. You can have both. There's no reason you can't, right? but you have to do your research, right? It takes a simple Google search, right? Don't just sit there and be like, I don't want to eat healthy. It's too hard. It's too difficult. I have kids. I got to cook different meals for everybody. And my husband doesn't want to do it. My wife doesn't want to do it. My boy, just do it. Stop complaining. Stop making excuses for yourself. The sooner you eat healthy, the healthier you'll be, the happier you'll be, the better off you'll be, right? Because I have news for you. I posted that article, and people who are getting sick now, most of them, medically studied, are obese. And the people who are obese and out of shape and overweight have a much higher risk of getting sick. No matter what time of year it is, no matter if we have a coronavirus or not, doesn't matter. The people who are overweight and out of shape are at more risk. They're at higher risk for getting sick, whether it's the common cold, whatever, the flu, influenza, it doesn't matter, right? So, and again, I'm going to say it again. A lot of people are too afraid of nutrition, right? It has that stigma. I don't want to do it. It sounds so hard. It sounds so difficult. Well, then you're going to stay the way you are for the rest of your life. If you're happy that way, good for you. All more power to you. If you're truly, genuinely, from the bottom of your soul, happy the way you are, I have respect for you. I really do. I want you to be happy, whether you eat well or not. Doesn't matter. That's not my place. I want you to be happy. That's why I do things like this. But on the flip side, if you want to make a change and you want to improve, which most people do, at least in one aspect of their life, this is how you can start, right? Because when we eat properly, it doesn't just teach us how to lose weight, how to get stronger, how to get healthier. It teaches us discipline, willpower, right? And that's not to say don't eat what you want. I have a cheat meal once a week. I have pizza, and it's delicious. And I enjoy every bite of it, right? But when you're eating that every day, guess what's going to happen? Okay, I don't even have to say it. You know what's going to happen, right? So it's what you do every day, and you need to be aware of that. And if you're one of those people who's just like, I don't like eating healthy, I've tried it a couple different ways, I'm content with the way I am. I like to eat what I like to eat. I like to drink what I like to drink. Same thing. Man, more power to you. Respect. Good for you, right? I'm not here to sit here and judge. I have respect for you whether you eat healthy or not. I don't care if you're 600 pounds. If you're a cool person, right on, right? But you got to make sure you're happy. And that's what it comes down to, right? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you losing weight. I'm not talking about you looking like a stud. I'm not talking about you looking like a supermodel. That shit doesn't mean anything, okay? It's, are you happy with your life, okay? And chances are most people are not happy with every aspect of their life, right? Everyone wants to make some sort of improvement, some sort of change. And this is how you start. Again, watch the documentary. It's everything in that documentary. It's everything that I've been telling everybody for the last 6 years, right? They can reach more people because they made a documentary. But it is everything I've been telling everyone for the last 6 years, right? I felt like I was watching myself, listening to myself, okay? Again, it's called Fat, a documentary. It's on Amazon, I believe, right? So it's everything I've been telling everybody for the last 5 or 6 years. And everyone who's listened to me has made progress. That's why I don't sit here and I go, I'm the best and this is the right way to do it. I let my results from my clients speak for themselves. Not one of my clients has failed. And if any of my clients ever fail, it's because they simply didn't listen to me. I can't take if I could take the spoon and spoon feed you, I would, but I can't. It's a 50-50 relationship. I tell you what you need to do. I give you every tool under the sun. You got to meet me halfway and do your part. Okay. And everyone who's done that has made progress. All right. And that's just simple. It's the way it is. Okay. So, if anyone has questions on that before I move on, go ahead and let me know. Juby, feed me. I got you. I should make a little meal prep delivery, send it out. That would be pretty cool. I think you need some sort of permit for that. I don't know. Miss you too, Juby. Tell the family I said hi. Miss you guys. All right, so if you guys have questions, let me know. This is going to be the chance for you guys to ask questions about the nutrition that I just spoke about. Hi, Kim. After a couple of questions have been asked, if anyone has questions, I'm going to move on to one of my favorite quotes, and we're going to kind of pick it apart to end off the podcast and see what the quote really means deep down and how to apply it to your life. And I'll explain how I did it to mine and why I like it so much. So I'm going to give a few minutes to open the floor up to some questions. Nutrition's a tricky topic. So if you have questions, now's your chance to ask them and get them answered properly, not by half the nonsense you see on Google. These damn allergies, man. All right, questions. Come on. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Chances are you're not the only one who's asking, who wants to know the answer. Nutrition's a tricky topic. A lot of moving parts. All right, let's get those questions going. I want at least a couple. There we go. What's an actual healthy breakfast? Pick me up. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people, for healthy breakfast, first of all, a lot of people are under the assumption, like I was saying earlier, what we were taught growing up is obviously terribly inaccurate, but everyone was always taught breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Yes and no. If you're eating breakfast, first of all, if you're skipping breakfast, it's all good. You don't need to eat breakfast. If you're eating breakfast, it is going to give you the fuel you need for the day. So I'm not going to sit here and say breakfast is the most important meal, and I'm not going to say it's not the most important meal and to forget about it. It's yes and no. A good breakfast to eat, no matter what type of nutrition you're eating, whatever diet you're on, whatever, a good healthy breakfast is you want your protein and you want your healthy fats. And I'll tell you why. Healthy fats are going to be your energy source. Clean, long-lasting, healthy burning energy source. A lot of people are under the assumption that your body needs sugar and carbs for fuel. The truth of the matter is your body can function off of two different fuel sources: sugar from sugar and carbs, glucose, or ketones from healthy fat. Your body actually prefers ketones from healthy fat. It's a healthier source of energy. It burns healthier, it burns longer, and it doesn't do the damage to your body that the glucose does. So, everyone's familiar with that mid-afternoon crash. You're sitting at your desk and like that, grabbing for my coffee, desperate for the Starbucks. The afternoon crash comes from filling your body with simple carbohydrates in the morning. And what happens is you're eating a bunch of carbs in the morning, like a bagel or something. What it does is it spikes your glucose up. And for someone without type 1 or type 2 diabetes, our bodies know, okay, glucose just spiked, insulin, go get them. Insulin shoots up, grabs the glucose, brings everything down to a healthy normal level again, and it's stable. So the reason why people are always crashing in the afternoon is because what happens is they're eating carbs in the morning, so your glucose and insulin spike, and then it crashes. First of all, for your glucose and insulin to spike and then come down to a normal level, it takes a lot of physical and emotional energy out of your body. That's a very taxing thing for your body to do, which is why you're tired after. Also, the simple carbohydrates burn off quick. Yes, it gives you a little bit of energy, but then it burns off quick. Then you're left with nothing. You're left with an empty tank. So now you're not only on an empty tank, but your body just went through a taxing procedure of insulin and glucose spiking and coming down. So now you're at a double, you're tired now, you're exhausted, you have nothing in the tank, and you just taxed your body. So if you're having something like protein and fat in the morning, the ketone fuel from the fat is not going to have you crashing. So you're not going to have those mid-afternoon crashes, and you're going to feel stable energy. So a lot of times when people are crashing from carbs and stuff, it's because they're eating, bad carbs all throughout the day. And again, there's good carbs and bad carbs. I'm not against carbohydrates. I myself eat carbohydrates. I've just timed them properly, and I eat the proper carbs for my body, which is why I have energy like this all the time. So, what happens is your glucose is constantly going up, coming down, up, down, up, down, up, down, right? And again, not all carbs are equal. Right? I test my blood sugar on a lot of them. And, there are loopholes and hacks and stuff like that where you can eat stuff like jasmine rice and almond flour pasta and stuff like I eat while staying healthy, while maintaining healthy blood glucose levels. You don't need to go as far as testing your blood sugar levels, but I do that because I'm a science nerd. Lengthy answer, Juby, but that's pretty much what you want to do. You want to have protein and healthy fat for your breakfast. And depends on what time you work out. I do the first half of my day is with my carbs because that's when I work out. After I work out, I wind it down with the carbs and I stick to mostly protein and fats. I'm doing a very specific bodybuilding type style nutrition. So it's a little bit different. Again, everyone's nutrition is different. The way I'm eating is for a very specific goal of mine that might not be the same goal as you. So you might not be eating the same way as me. I also cycle on it. I also cycle through different nutrition. So I'll eat a certain way for a couple months, and then I'll eat a different way for a couple months, and then I'll eat a different way for a couple months. I'm always open to questions on that too, guys. If you want to message me on that stuff, I'm always willing to share my nutrition. I switch up my nutrition every couple of months. Are zero sugar energy drinks good? Depends on which ones. I'm not a huge fan on energy drinks, but there are healthy ones, like the ones that I use. One I use is called eBoost, and it's a pretty cool one. Right, so it's only got about 3 grams of sugar for the entire can. I think they use honey or something like that, but 3 grams for a whole can, right? So not too bad. It's got 110 milligrams of caffeine naturally through green coffee bean extract, and it doesn't crack you out. Really, what I use for energy, and again, I every time I say this to people, they're like, "Oh my God, what?" I use nicotine gum, 4 milligrams. Everyone, again, that's a big stigma because everyone associates nicotine with smoking. Scientifically speaking, nicotine in its pure form, like a gum, there's nothing else in there. It's nicotine, 4 milligrams with a little bit of mint flavor. That's excellent for cognitive function, focus, cognitive enhancement, energy, no crash. So what I do is I use that 4 milligrams of nicotine gum. It also comes in 2 milligrams. But again, scientifically speaking, nicotine is harmless to the adult human. Right, to the adult human person, nicotine is harmless in its pure form, like a gum or a mint. Right, so that's what I use for my energy. I do regular black coffee. I do sometimes those energy drinks, which are really good, but I really rely mostly on my nicotine gum, which is phenomenal for brain function, cognitive enhancement, and energy. Let's see. And it's not addictive. I can tell you right now, I've gone days without it. It's not addictive, right? The addictive stuff is the 5,000 plus other ingredients and all the cigarettes and all that garbage, right? Nicotine is harmless and not addictive in the human body, in the adult human. Janice, what is the name of the pasta you recommended? The name of the pasta is called Cappello's. Cappello''S. Cappello's. It's in a white and black box. Whole Foods sells it. Mission Nutrition, if you're near Long Island, you have the Hicksville store, Mission Nutrition. They sell it as well. But Whole Foods does have it. They make pastas and they make pizzas, which are really very good. They make cookie dough. They make a bunch of stuff, all very natural, very clean ingredients. I don't think the ingredients go past 6 or 7 ingredients. Very clean. Everything you can pronounce, everything you know. Cappello, Cappello''S. Cappello's. That's what I'm going to be having for dinner tonight. So I'll post a little picture of it, of a little video, maybe a vlog about it, and I'll let you know what it is. So, all right. So if you have more questions on that, feel free to pop them down. I am going to end off the podcast in a few minutes with my quote. Well, that's not my quote, but it's a quote, one of my favorite quotes. So while I'm speaking about the quote, if you have questions on nutrition, pop them down there and I'll answer them before the end of the podcast. So the quote is by Dennis Waitley. It goes like this. It's not who you think you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. It's not who you think you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. And the reason that I like that quote so much is really because, a lot of people are like, oh, but I'm this and I'm that and I'm this. They make excuses for themselves, and that's why I can't do it. No, it's not who you are. Right? It's not who you are. It's not who you think you are. It's not who you are. It's who you think you're not. I don't think I'm capable of it. I don't think I have enough money for it. I don't think I'm this. I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I'm whatever it is. Fill in the blank. I don't think I'm fill in the blank, right? And it's who you think you're not that holds you back. And the reason that I like that so much is because I used to hold myself back a lot, because it was not who I was that I couldn't do it. It's who I thought I wasn't that I couldn't do it. All throughout middle school and high school, I was a huge introvert, kept to myself. Yeah, I was, I had friends. I went to parties, I drank, I did this. In high school, I started coming out of my shell a little bit. But even still, when I would go to a party, the first hour or so, I would have some severe social anxiety and introverted. I would just kind of hold the wall up in the corner. And then, after a couple of hours, I'll be like, I'm okay. I'm good. Right. So for me, teaching fitness classes, kickboxing classes, doing nutrition videos, doing podcasts, being in front of a camera, public speaking, doing seminars, which I've done before, that would have been a nightmare. If I look back at myself in high school and I said, hey, buddy, you're going to be doing this when you're 20 something years old, I would have been like, yeah, okay, guy, get the hell out of here. Right. Wouldn't have thought about it. Wouldn't have even come across my mind. Because it wasn't who I was. It was who I thought I wasn't. I didn't think I was good enough to do that. I didn't think I could possibly pull it off. And now look where I am. I'm teaching fitness classes. I'm teaching kickboxing classes. I'm teaching workouts. I'm teaching nutrition courses. I'm doing podcasts. I have public speaking, things like that, which I never thought I was capable of doing back then. I'm now doing because I got over the fact that it was who I thought I wasn't. And I got over the fact that I needed to stop thinking that this was not capable. Like I was not able to do this. So the sooner I got over that, the sooner I tapped into this world that I didn't even know existed. And I made a life out of it. I made a career out of it. I made happiness and success out of it. And I'm going to continue. I'm just breaking point right now. I'm just dipping my toe in right now. I'm just getting started. I have a long road, a long journey ahead of me. And, I'm excited for it. So that's really what that quote means to me. So, it's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not, by Dennis Waitley. So let that sink in. Okay. Take that quote, let it sink in, and try to do what I did and apply it to your own life in what you're trying to accomplish in your own life, what you're trying to do in your own life, right? You can do whatever you want. You want to be a doctor? What's stopping you? For real, what's stopping you? You don't have enough money? Go get a loan. Get a student loan. You don't have the time? So what? Study. Do night classes. Do morning classes. Fill it in. Do it. Get it done. You want to be a chef? Go to culinary school. What's stopping you? You could throw every excuse in the book at me. Every excuse you could think of, throw it at me. I will have a rebuttal for it. I don't have time. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You have time. You might not have free time. Nobody has free time. You have time. You need to make the time. Oh, but my kids. Think about it. Or do you want to be happy for your kids? Kids do. They follow you. Not what you say, what you do. They're going to look at you in an unhappy relationship growing up, and they're going to associate that that's what a relationship is. And it's going to screw them up when they start dating. Right? If they see a happy relationship, a healthy relationship, guess what they're going to associate with it when they start dating? You're setting the example for your kids. Right? I know for a fact that even the karate kids that I deal with, the karate kids, they're not even my kids. Right? I have in my room a wall of things that these kids have come in and made me. Like I treat those kids like they are my own. I would do anything for those kids. If one of these parents said, hey, there's an emergency. I need you to go help pick them up from school. I'm dropping what I'm doing and I'm going to help them. Right? I care about them. So I use this as practice for myself. I set the example. When I'm around those kids, I set the example. I do and say things that I want them to eventually grow up and do and say. I don't act like a good person and say good things just because I'm around them. I set the example. I'm polite. I'm kind. I do these things, but I want them to see that this is what you're supposed to do. This is a healthy, that's what we do. We want them to grow into good human beings. We want to teach them good values, good morals, good people skills, how to be polite, how to say thank you, how to say please, how to show respect for yourself and others. These are things that, we teach the kids. And when I have my own kids, that's what I'm going to be teaching them. And that's why I have a lot of respect for most parents, is because I see in the kid how well they're being raised and their morals. Okay. So, things like that are really, you want to set standards for yourself. And if your kid sees that, oh, I wish I could do this, or I wish I could do that, what are they going to grow up doing? If you want to go own a business, Go own a business, right? It's not easy, but it's not impossible. And one day when it all pays off and you're successful, you're going to feel really good about yourself. You're not going to look back when you're 90 years old with regret. And you're going to set a good example for those around you and kids, whether they're your own kids or whoever else's kids that you're close with. They're going to see, wow, he or she really went and did it, whatever they wanted. I want to be a doctor. Go do it. So what if it takes 10 years of med school? Go do it. You're never too old to go do something. and people around you are going to see that. They're going to say, you know what? Wow, he's 30 years old and then just went to med school. He became a doctor. He lived his dream. Okay, that's cool stuff, right? And then people around you or your kids or whoever is going to see, wow, that person really know what they wanted and they really went for it. They didn't let excuses get in their way, right? So, that's really what I want to get across on this podcast in general, but especially in this episode. You got to go after it. There's never going to be the right time. It's never going to be a perfect time to become a doctor, enroll in med school. There's never going to be a perfect time to become a dentist. It's never going to be the perfect time to go be a chef in culinary school. It's never going to be a perfect time to have a baby. There's never going to be a perfect time to open up your own business. You got to throw all the cards on the table, say F it, and go for it. Take the leap, take the jump. Whoever sticks with you, sticks with you. Whoever doesn't. You know who true people are, right? When I open my business one day, there's never going to be the perfect time to go open my business. I'm going to be waiting for years and decades, and I'm going to look back and be like, shit, I should have done that decades ago. There's never going to be the perfect time. Go all in, chips on the table, throw your cards down, go after it. Because I'm telling you right now, time's going to pass by, and you're going to look back, and you're going to be like, I wish I did X, Y, and Z with my life. I'd rather go into it, chips down, all in, open a business, and know that I can make it successful. And if it fails, guess what? Land on your feet. Try again. I'd rather fail at it, look back and be like, I actually did it. I started my own business. It lasted, and now I got a new endeavor, right? But the mindset is, when I open my business, it's not going to fail. It's going to succeed because I know what I need to do to get it done. And I'm not going to let excuses get in my way. And that's going to be the difference between my business being successful and someone else opening theirs, letting their judgment get clouded, and then folding, and then trying to start from scratch. So, mind is a powerful thing. And the only way, the real true way to keep your mind healthy is taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, putting good food in your body, putting healthy food in your body, doing right by your body. Okay. And that's it, right? That's what I want to get across to you guys today. So, we went through the nutrition, we went through why nutrition is so powerful, and we went through one of my favorite quotes. And what I really want you guys to do is take this information, rewatch the podcast if you have to, take this information, take notes, doesn't matter, I don't care, rewatch it, listen to it. Don't just hear me, let it go in one ear and out the other. Truly sit there and listen to me, let it sink in, and apply it to your own life, okay? If the information that I gave you tonight can help you the way it's helped me over the years, I've done my job. And if you let it go in one ear and out the other, then I don't know what to tell you. Good luck on a different path, because this is really stuff that I've helped myself with, and I've helped a lot of other people with, people that I can't even remember, I can't even count, right? And that's my goal for you. So that's it, right? Take the information, do what you will with it. I'm going to be back next Friday at 7:30 p.m. for a live podcast on Facebook and YouTube. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're talking about a completely different topic next week. So I'm excited for that. Right? If you guys have any questions going forward between now and next Friday, please, please, please feel free to message me, text me, DM me, private message me, whatever, right? Ask me questions. I'm here to help. I'm here to help you improve your life. That's my job. That's why I was put on this earth, right? Ask me questions. Ask me for support. Ask me for help. That's why I'm here, right? Don't be afraid to reach out. Everybody needs help at one point or another, right? Don't be ashamed to ask for any type of help. Whatever we talk about stays between you and I, right? That's what I want to do. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to wrap it up so I can go eat some dinner. I'm also going to post a little bit about my dinner, like we talked about earlier, and that's going to be it. So I'm going to wrap it up. I really appreciate you guys watching and listening. It does mean a lot to me. The only way I can make this podcast successful is with your support. So if you like the information that I provided with you tonight, I would appreciate if you could somehow, way or another, support my podcast by sharing it with your friends, share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram, whatever. It would mean a lot to me, and it would word of mouth is the best way to support a podcast and grow a podcast. So if you want me to continue doing podcasts for you guys, I am going to need your help with the support. So if you do like the information I gave you tonight, share it with your friends, talk it up, let people know. And the more people, the more viewers I have on each of my podcasts, that's how we grow. And that's it for tonight. So I appreciate you all. I appreciate everything. I appreciate you listening. I hope you enjoyed the information I gave to you today. And that's it. So I will talk to you guys next Friday, 7:30 p.m. Until then.